everybody, and welcome everybody to the first live post-show for a WWE pay-per-view. Hey, I guess it is the first pay-per-view of the new wrestling year, so to speak. So I figure let's do these things live. And as you know, because you're not blind, if you're blind, I'm terribly sorry for your affliction. Down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, because I like the fact that I can do this, I have two guests. Yes, one of them appears to be The Undertaker, but believe me, if The Undertaker was on here, I wouldn't be this excited. I would be unconscious. So, yeah, joining me on the chat room, it's not a chat room, what am I talking about? On the post-show today, I'm joined by my two compatriots. Introduce yourself one by one, I don't care in what order. Or shall I just do it?
Hey guys, it's Taker Silverl again, which is why you probably see the picture of the dead man down there. Yay!
Yeah. And?
Yeah, what's up, guys? This country girl over here.
Not too happy, I imagine, after this week's pay-per-view.
Not really too disappointed. I have my reasons, so not really too disappointed.
Can we get into it when we get there?
Indeed we can, but we can look forward, can't we, a little bit? Because I'm quite pleased with this pay-per-view, because this pay-per-view brings to an end. It brings to an end my losing streak.
Yeah, your losing streak. Woo!
My losing streak has ended today because I predicted the entire card. Well, ish. No, I did.
Hey, we got some too.
Yeah, but of course, let's get started with the show, which, yeah, let's start off
guys,
with...
So, you know, I didn't actually watch it.
What? Really?
Yeah, but I didn't get it telling me what was going on, so...
Oh, well, let's start off with the pre-show. Now, normally, we would sort of gloss over the pre-show, but unfortunately... I watched it! I watched the pre-show this time. I watched it more out of a morbid curiosity than any other reason other than that. Because the pre-show match was the WLC match, and yeah, WWE, my question to you is, why do you treat your midgets with so little respect? Seriously?
Oh, it was a cool match.
It was a cool match, but it's sort of like it was a cool match. Yeah, I will give you that. But at the same time, right? Hornswoggle's a decent wrestler. Mascarita Dorada, who is El Torito, is also an incredible wrestler, and yet they put them in like a sideshow match. I'm not a fan of that. You know, it smacks to me of Vince McMahon.
What the heck?
It smacks to me of Vince McMahon sat backstage going, ha 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 ha, look at those small people, ha 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 ha, boobs.
Yeah, and turn your camera off again.
You know, that's what it,
I have no control over this thing.
That's what it, that's the way it appears to me, I would say. Yeah, I sort of think that, yeah, it makes you wonder.
No, there's a guy in here.
Yeah, I'll,
Yeah.
Muted. Yeah, he must have got the wrong link. Oh well. He's not coming in here. Yeah, so, as it would appear, yeah, WWE don't seem to be treating their little people with a lot of respect.
It has been a long time since WWE has had another midget wrestler other than Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
So.
I remember when there was like Mini Boogeyman and.
Yeah, Mini Taker.
Mini Undertaker, which is really weird.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since there's been another midget wrestler other than Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, but it was the cutest little match. I thought it was so cute with the little step ladders and the stools, and You know, I just thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cute.
Well, the match was sort of it was a WLC, so it was a TLC match,
Yeah.
and it was kind of a plunder match, to be honest, an old school sort of plunder match, the way plunder matches used to be in the 90s, really. I mean, obviously there wasn't like gallons of blood and gratuitous nudity or anything, but they sort of did the comedy hardcore with
Yeah.
step ladders, small tables. Oh, and the best part of it, I think, was the fact that they had mini announcers.
Yeah.
They had three blokes, three little people dressed up like the announcers. It was Jerry the Mini King Lawler, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was Micro Cole
Yeah.
and what was it? JB Little or something?
Maybe very little.
Yeah. And they were sort of playing they were sort of like playing up the over the top versions of the characters of
Of the regular.
Oh yeah,
Jerry,
of the regular announcers, Cole and Lawler and the like, you know. But yeah, it sort of it was an interesting little match, but it was part of the pre-show, and so we can sort of let it sort of exist in its own place, I suppose.
Yeah.
As for the rest of the card, the show started out with a video about Evolution, The Shield, Kane and Bryan, and Bray and Cena. And the first match of the card, the triple threat match. This match was changed actually prior to the show. It was originally supposed to be a triple threat match, but they changed it to be elimination.
Yeah, they
They
changed
did
it.
that on SmackDown.
They said they changed it at the last. They said they changed it on SmackDown because something about they wanted it. They wanted to play up the whole Cesaro RVD thing because it was Extreme Rules.
Mm.
And RVD was kind of, he was really big at ECW, so Extreme Rules was sort of his thing.
And fucking Paul Heyman and the 10 Commandments of Extreme Rules.
Oh yes, to quote Paul Heyman, the 11th commandment of Extreme is thou shalt not boo Paul Heyman.
Fuck that.
How did Extreme get freaking 10 commandments over here? I didn't realize Extreme was a religion.
Yeah.
You really want to you really want to look at take that and to the ECW fans. I am actually
then,
as we.
my thing, he said he wasn't going to mention this anymore, and of course, my client, Brock Lesnar, blah, 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 blah.
He did. He mentioned it.
I can't handle that anymore.
He got booed badly, and
I
that's
want a sledgehammer and Paul Heyman's head. Now.
That's why he said that. That's why he said the 11th commandment of Extreme is thou shalt not boo Paul Heyman.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a good match. Cesaro picked up the win, as he should have.
Fuck.
Cesaro should have won that match, and he did. So that obviously was the right way for them to go.
We forgot to mention who won that thing. The other one.
Oh, the WLC match was won by El Torito. Well, Hornswoggle's not. If they're pushing either of those guys in any sort of way, it's El Torito because he's unbeaten, I think.
Yeah, he's only had like 2 matches.
He's only had like 2 matches, but he's still unbeaten, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we're 0 for 2 over here, Deanna. We suck.
We're 0 for 2 so far.
So we go on to the next match, which is the well, we first we go to the trainer's room. Actually, in the trainer's room, Stephanie McMahon comes in and tells Daniel Bryan she's concerned that Bryan is injured, and suggests that he just hand over the title so she can cancel the match. Daniel Bryan kindly tells her to go away. Yeah.
And then Stephanie says that Kane's gonna make Daniel his bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got that match coming up. We get a vignette for Deanna's new boyfriend, Bo Dallas. And
Take a chill pill.
yeah, and then we're followed up with a 2-on-1 handicap match: Alexander Rusev versus R-Truth and Xavier Woods.
We were all right on this one.
We were all right on this one. Alexander Rusev beats the hell out of them, you know.
Yeah, squish match.
Yeah,
But
Renee.
I think the thing that really offended a lot of people was the fact that Lana dedicated the match to the president of Russia, and that offended a lot of people. I think she got booed out of the arena.
Well, she's a heel. She's supposed to.
Yeah, but there are some things you just don't.
There's just some things you just don't do.
Yeah, maybe. But the next thing we get is Renee Young, who I do have a bit of a crush on, with Evolution. Triple H says some words, and yeah, that's it essentially. Triple H says some words. I've programmed my brain to tune Triple H out when he speaks. So
Really?
yeah, so Triple H says some words, probably something about being the game and being that damn good.
Okay,
Anyway.
so the usual shit.
Yeah, the usual stuff. Then we get the Intercontinental Championship match: my boy Bad News Barrett versus Big E Langston, and Barrett gets a gigantic pop when he comes out. Barrett gets a pop.
Which is unusual, considering the fact.
People are buying into his shit.
Yeah.
People are buying into him to such a degree that WWE put him over.
Okay, this was me. God damn it. This was my mother. What? No, talk about bad news.
And this was me. Yes!
And this was me. God damn it, that's such a big yeah!
Yeah, but Bad News Barrett is now the Intercontinental Champion, and WWE are coming to England soon. Good Lord, that man is going to be over.
Care.
Yeah, but good Lord, that man is going to be over when he's on Raw in the UK.
Yeah, you get it before me.
Huh?
Wade Barrett can go die in a hole along with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar.
Maybe if we're lucky, Davey Boy Smith will come back and do some ghostly tricks and hurt him really badly, and suddenly he'll just disappear.
Well, Barrett will be very much over. Then we get a vignette for Adam Rose, and I am even more excited to see this man on Raw.
I'm not.
I think that's going to be cool.
He and Bo make their debuts tonight.
He's a weirdo.
He seems kind of creepy to me, just a little bit. I mean,
well, I kind of like the gimmick, and I've seen him on NXT, and it's cool. So
kind of creepy, just a little bit, but you know, who knows?
You can go to hell.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it'll be. I think it's a good little show to watch. So, yeah. Anyway, the next match is the Evolution versus the Hounds of Justice, and I've made my decision. I'm switching right away over to the Shield.
Good.
Yeah, though, because
I am bored of Evolution now, but I mean, my prediction was the Shield anyway. I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
What I mean is, I'm revoking my own double agentness, and I'm one-sided now.
Evolution is boring now.
Well, it's not that they're boring. The only thing about Evolution that I like is their music, because it's Motorhead, and it's very rare we get Motorhead on WWE TV.
You get Motorhead on WWE TV every time Triple H comes out.
Yeah, but I don't like that Motorhead. I really do like Line in the Sand.
Well, hello, Triple H's music is Motorhead, you dummy.
Yeah, but I don't like Time to Play the Game.
Not that specific song.
King of Kings and Time to Play the Game are both Motorhead songs.
Yeah, but I do like Line in the Sand, and that's literally all Evolution give to me. And anyway, we're not going to see much more of Evolution, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, this one was match of the night.
Yeah, I will say that right now. That match was the first match that was really brutal. It was really physical, Everybody is talking about Seth Rollins jumping off that balcony and landing on Big Nose.
Yeah, as soon as the fight went down the stairs and I realised Seth Rollins just disappeared, you worked out what he was going to do.
Yeah.
For those of you who haven't watched the pay-per-view, they went out into the crowd.
Yeah,
They thought they were out in...
up into like the blows, almost to the nosebleed section. Dean Ambrose tumbled down 2 flights of stairs and was still able to get up and walk.
Triple H
Seth Rollins jumped from the 2nd-story balcony and landed flat on Big Nose.
taking out Triple H and Orton.
Okay, landing on Big Nose.
Yeah, he took out Triple H and Orton, and which left essentially 4 men in the match completely knocked out. At the same time, Roman Reigns and Batista were out of it in the ring. They got up and had a little bit of a back and forth. Batista almost caught Reigns with a power bomb, but Reigns shoved him off. Superman punch, spear to Batista, and pinning Batista. So that's twice. So that's
I want to
twice
point
now.
something else out about Roman. If you notice, when he was getting ready to do the spear, he kind of had like a little edge moment. Where he was working his you know, like Edge used to do. He used to work his way. But Edge's thing was he would do his hand like, come on, come on, come on. Get up, get up, get up. Roman was kind of like sort of getting in that zone where, and then he screamed, and then the next thing you know, it's pow, right in the kisser. Good night,
the gut, not the kisser.
And then there was the match. The match obviously reached its end, but Batista has now lost twice in 2 pay-per-views, and you know what? I know why that is, because he's not going to be around much longer.
They're saying he might be staying until after Payback.
Which is the next pay-per-view. But when we get to the end of the card, I want to talk about a match that's being talked about for Payback. Which really, really partially excites me and at the same time makes me a bit sad. But I'll talk to you guys about that when we get to the end of the show. The next match, we get a video promoting John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, which is essentially just showing the segment from Raw, which I really, really like.
That's disturbing, dude. What are you talking about?
I like it. I really like it.
I gotta ask you a question. I know you drink scotch, so are you drunk when you watch Raw?
No,
Exactly.
Because sometimes I swear you don't see what we see.
Exactly. I don't think we see what we see.
I loved that moment, and I even more loved this match. This match wasn't match of the night though, because for me the match of the night was the one prior. But this match was good, but at the same time I think there was too much interaction from the Wyatt family.
The
whole point of a steel cage is to keep them out, not let them get in.
The thing about this match was, honestly, the thing about this match was that, like, okay, the whole point of this match was that John was supposed to be able to sort of finish off Bray Wyatt by himself.
Yeah.
But I think what you should have done was, considering the fact that if you wanted it to be a match where neither Bozo Brain nor Sheepface could get in, they should have done a Hell in a Cell match. I still open at the top.
The only way that there is to get around that is if they hide under the ring beforehand.
Yeah, that's
They
the
check
only way
under the ring before they bring the cell down, so...
Yeah, but at the same time, we have seen people cut through the wall of the cell before.
Well, yeah, there's that. But the thing about this match, and this is why I'm not completely upset about it. This is why I'm not so up in arms. I'm not so up in water. John literally was about to walk out of that match when that little boy showed up.
Yeah, let's talk about this moment.
Can we not? Because that's just disturbing.
Let's talk about this moment because it's the climax of the match.
Although I will say, Deanna, you're just figuring out that he's trying to go after the kids now?
I came to this resolution last night after Robin and I had gone to bed and I was thinking about it. I came to this conclusion. Obviously, Bray Wyatt has adult followers as well as children followers, obviously.
Yeah.
But to get to Cena, he more or less has figured out that okay, the adults aren't going to have as big as effect because John's going to be like, okay, either way, the adults are going to hate me, the adults are going to hate me, the adults are going to love me. It doesn't really matter. But when it comes to the kids, it hits John harder.
Mm-hmm.
You're just coming to this realization now?
Yeah.
Really?
Why? John has two little nieces, and when he sees those kids, it's almost like he sees his little nieces. Because he looked at that little boy, and he got this look on his face, almost like, oh my god, that could be my niece.
We need to explain what little boy we're talking about. Cena had all but won the match. He had not. Eric Rowan was left in an awesome looking position, laid out on top of the cell. Now that I loved that.
I love that part where they were all kind of like just laid out in the middle of the ring, and it looks like they'd all had one too many shots of Jimmy.
Yeah, Harper was out in the ring, and Bray Wyatt was also out. And Cena was just walking out, stepping through the ropes, and about to go through the door when the lights went out, and there was a little kid there, and he was singing the "Whole World in His Hands" song that Bray Wyatt has been singing of late. But I don't know if this was just my version, but was his voice really, really deep?
His voice was meant to be creepy. They said what they did was they had the mic hooked up to a voice changer.
Yeah, because it's sort of like it was sort of like he'd really had his voice done.
You could tell that the little boy. You could tell it wasn't a kid's voice.
Yeah.
What they did was they hooked the mic up to a voice changer to make it sound more creepy, and that was to more or less give John a spook.
Well, the thing about that is it makes me wonder whether it would have been more effective if that little kid's really sort of sweet, angelic voice. He's got that, if he had the really sort of cute choir boy kind of.
Yeah, if he had the little kid voice. Yeah.
It's just a thought, but
It would have worked better that way, probably.
but Cena was Cena was distracted by a child, stepped backwards into the cage, took a Sister Abigail. And Bray Wyatt left the cage and won.
Good for him.
I'm not. The thing about it is that the thing about this is that I'm not really upset because honestly, over the last year and a half, John hasn't really had a really good storyline. So I'm actually forward to seeing how this is going to play out.
Well, the feud continues. I'm sure.
Yeah,
My thing is like, okay, good for Bray Wyatt. He beat John Cena once. Whoop-de-fucking-do.
Plus, that's not really a big deal. Anybody can beat John one time, but that's not going to get you a big pop.
And there's also the element that what's the next pay-per-view called? Payback. What would Cena quite like to get?
Payback.
So
yeah.
there's logic there. There's logic there. So
the thing about let's look at it this way, guys. If Bray Wyatt hadn't beat John at WrestleMania 30 last month, this probably would have just faded into the background and been another Bray Wyatt would have been just another footnote in WWE history.
Yeah.
Okay, big whoop, I beat John Cena at WrestleMania. That's happened before. The Miz did it. But this time you're getting the Nexus storyline.
Calm down.
You knew that was coming, didn't you?
No, it's just you're tripping over your words.
You're getting more of what you got back in 2010. You're getting the interesting. This is gonna span out for several months type storyline. You're not getting this is a one or two pay-per-view match storyline.
Yeah.
This could go on till SummerSlam, and I'd be happy. But I think this is a really good storyline, and plus, not only that, but you're getting to see what the future could hold for WWE, what somebody like Bray Wyatt could do to the fans if he was ever, say, turned face.
There's a scary fucking concept.
Looking at it, you could literally, and honestly, and Tom could probably agree with me on this, you could look at it as Bray Wyatt could possibly, somewhere down the line in the future, become a face. And when he does...
So much of the audience are on side with him now, you can almost argue he's almost there.
Yeah, he really
It's
is.
a scary fucking concept.
It is, but what you've got to think is, and this is something I should have pointed out, but I didn't, during the entrance of the Wyatts, WWE have been handing out lanterns to people.
Yeah.
And did you see how many lanterns were on? And what was also great was the commentary referenced it by saying, "Have you guys heard? Anybody who holds one of those lanterns is saying they're a Wyatt's a fan of the Wyatt family, a supporter of Bray Wyatt."
No goddamn lantern.
You know, and that made me really that was really cool, because I think what they're going to do is at every match Bray has with Cena, there'll be more and more lanterns.
You won't catch me holding one of those things.
I think that'll be what they'll do until, right, the plan I think will be until they've got everybody in the audience holding those lanterns.
And then
because I think they'll build up to the point where the entire audience is against Cena. And I think that
I won't. If I'm in that audience, I won't be holding a lantern.
And I think, and what I think is, I think that will push. See, that will push us finally to get what some parts of the audience have wanted for years: the fabled John Cena heel turn.
Not gonna happen.
No, it will. Okay,
the reason.
Hell will freeze over before John Cena.
This is the main reason why John will never do that. One,
you've told us this before.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's worth repeating again. He, as John has said 15,787 times, he won't turn heel because he does not, because he's too afraid everything he's worked for will go down the drain.
I think he'd get more over if he took the turn.
But I think honestly, if this keeps going and it does work that way, and he does turn heel, then you have the prospect of, okay, Bray Wyatt's the face, John Cena's the heel in all this. You have the prospect of, sooner or later, when John goes heel and he goes back to, say, his Thugonomics and his Chain Gang and all that stuff, you have a new sense of sort of reinventing John all over again and getting the crowd back on his side.
The way I look at it is,
hell's gonna freeze over before John Cena turns heel.
That's my point. My point is, I don't think Cena will make the decision to turn heel. I think the audience will turn on Cena, and thus he will become a heel because he doesn't. You know, in order to be a babyface, you really need the audience on your side, don't you? Now, if the audience completely turned on him, then he isn't a babyface by logic, is he? He hasn't gone out there, kicked a baby in the head, and walked off with a married woman or something, but he has become a heel because the audience have turned on him.
The kids aren't going to turn on him, though.
Some of them are, though.
Some of them are, but not a lot of them aren't. Some of the kids, yes, some of the kids will turn on him, but not all of the kids will. And that's what's going to keep him where he's at, because most of the kids, when they look at John Cena, they see a hero. And the kids that do follow Bray Wyatt are more like, okay, here's somebody that's new, here's somebody that's different, let's check him out and see what he's about. And probably they all think the sheep mask is cool.
Don't you think so?
I really don't think, and honestly, I really don't think Bray Wyatt was targeting the children. I think, this is why it took me so long to make the realization, Robin, I thought he was strictly targeting the adults. I didn't think about him targeting the kids.
Don't you think though the whole thing about saying that Cena is a hero for the kids, surely in terms of a hero for the kids, there is somebody coming up on the card who we are going to be talking about very soon, who is actually a better role model for the kids than Cena. I'm talking, of course, about WWE World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, Daniel.
So
Daniel-
what?
Yes, Daniel's a great role model, but better than Cena.
I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say that Daniel Bryan is a better role model.
Daniel in some ways is a better role model for the kids because John teaches the kids to never back down from a fight, to never give it, never don't let people bully you around, stand up for what you believe in, that kind of thing. Daniel does the same thing with the kids. He shows them that you can overcome any adversity that's put in front of you, as long as you keep a level head about it.
So therein lies my point. With if Daniel Bryan becomes WWE's #1 babyface, right, and you've also got on the babyface spectrum, you've got the Shield,
Yeah.
with those cool skull masks.
That's just weird.
If those two become your #1 and #2 baby faces, you don't need Cena as a baby face, and you could use him better as a bad guy. If the fans turn on him and then Cena is just like, well, you've all turned on me. I'm
Stop talking about this. We're going way off topic here.
I just think it's an interesting point, but we'll go on to the next match anyway. The next match, which is the Divas Championship, Paige from the UK versus Tamina Snuka. It wasn't a long match, but Divas matches aren't long anyway.
Not anymore.
But Paige wins by submission, which is good. Paige definitely should keep onto the belt, keep hold of the title, and I hope she holds it for a year. I really do. I hope she holds it for.
I also think last night Paige showed everybody in the locker room that even though
It's not just a flash in the pan.
she might have the status of rookie in the company, she ain't no rookie. She is a veteran in her
Only
own
a rookie in the company because she just got there.
Yeah, but in her own right, she's not.
Yeah. I hope she holds on to the title for a very, very long time.
She's a veteran in her own right. So, while yes, she's a WWE rookie, and logically, because of all the stuff she's done in England and all the stuff she's done in Europe, she's considered a veteran, just like Daniel Bryan was. He was considered a veteran. So, you can come into the WWE and be rookie status, but logically, you're a vet.
If you pay your dues, then you're a
vet. It doesn't matter. You can be rookie status and still be a veteran. So
I hope she manages to hold on to the title for an extended period of time. But then we get a little backstage promo, so we get to see the Wyatts again, and the child is named Little Johnny.
Yep.
Which I think is
creepos go away already.
And they Bray Wyatt says that they are free now, and Cena is all alone, and soon everybody will follow the buzzards. And then the kid says that. So then we get a video pushing the Daniel Bryan-Kane feud, and then we go straight into the match. Daniel Bryan versus Kane in an Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Boy, did it take an Extreme Rules turn.
Now, the question now, I called the Shield match of the night, and I still think it was match of the night, but this is a close second.
This match was, other than this match wasn't as physical as the Shield, but this match sort of showed you really what Extreme Rules is all about.
Well, there's an interesting point I want to make about this match. This match was important for Daniel Bryan as champion because I feel that this match was necessary to push that Daniel Bryan has a monster inside.
Okay, can I ask you? Is WWE trying to make us forget about Team Hell now?
No, I don't think so. I think this feud is definitely going to continue because I've seen what WWE is planning for the next pay-per-view, which we're going to talk about. Well, they're considering it. They're considering it at the moment.
Talk about it.
We are because
I'm leaving. If we do,
it's an important point. It's an important point to discuss because of what kind of match we've got in mind. it's just been considered, but I'd like to hear what you think about this one. But Daniel Bryan and Kane have quite a pretty violent match. They end up in the car park.
It ended up in the parking garage, and Daniel magnificently comes up with the idea that, oh, I'm going to lift the big red monster onto a forklift. And then I'm going to drive a forklift back out to the ring, jump from the top of the forklift, and land on the big red monster.
Before he did that, though, he hit Kane in the back of the head with a tire iron.
Yep.
Now that is my point. He beat Kane around the head and the back with a tire iron, not like a kendo stick or a wrestling weapon, with a tire iron. This showed that Daniel Bryan had been pushed to his wit's end.
Well, I thought that I blame the guy because he went through 8 months of unfair treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he wants to when he wants to make people understand that, hey, look, I've been here 4 years, I've paid my dues in the Indies, I was trained by one of your own, I don't care if you're, I don't care, and he was like saying, look, I don't care what you do to me, whatever you're going to do to me, I'm going to take your medicine. And I took your medicine long enough, now I'm just sick of it. Now you want to turn a guy who was my friend at one point, turn him against me, give him a suit, give him power, turn him against me, make him attack my wife, which you know, in WWE you do not do. That's two things you don't do. You don't mess with a man's family, and you don't mess with the man's wife.
Which is essentially the same thing because the wife is family.
Yes. But you mess with my wife, you put me through 8 months of hell, you basically, I had the title, you stripped me of it, you gave it back to Orton, you know, you treated me like crap for 8 months. I'm sick and tired of all your shit. Now I've got to beat up the guy that I considered my friend because you turned him against me. Now I got to beat him up, and now I don't have a choice. It's like because you pushed me to this point. And when somebody like Daniel Bryan has enough, and to quote Owen Hart on this, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Which I kind of been wanting to say that lately. But that was Daniel Bryan's whole mantra. He had enough. He was sick and tired of it. He wanted to finish it. But unfortunately, and Robin can speak this from experience better than anybody, Kane doesn't take stuff like that lying down.
No, he's not like somebody else I know.
This match obviously went out into the parking lot. When Daniel Bryan hit Kane in the back of the head with a tire iron, he then thought about dragging Kane back to the ring, but Kane was dead.
But the use of the forklift was definitely something that has not been seen in the WWE for a long time.
The last time would have been the stretcher match between Big Show and Brock Lesnar, I think.
Yeah, and that was way back in the Attitude Era.
No, that's 2003 or 2006.
Attitude Era. That was after the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era ended in 2005.
It was post Attitude Era, but pre Universe Era.
Yeah, well, whatever. Anyway, same thing.
Attitude Era. 2001.
But yeah, Bryan brings Kane down to the ring, lifts the forklift all the way up, tips it so that Kane is rolled into the ring and lands perfectly on his back. Bryan hits him with a diving headbutt, but Kane kicks out.
And then goes for the most extreme thing you haven't seen since Mick.
He lights a table on fire.
And then gets disqualified because for lighting the table on fire.
He didn't get disqualified. He lost by pinfall. He wasn't disqualified.
He was yes, he was because he
was disqualified for lighting the table on fire.
He never got a pinfall.
It's not disqualification. It's Extreme Rules. You can't be disqualified, I don't think.
Yes, you can because they're not supposed to light tables on fire anymore. They're not supposed to do that anymore.
On my match thing, it doesn't say anything about disqualification. It's got Bryan down as winning by pinfall.
Well, he didn't get a pinfall. He did not get a pinfall because
he got a 3 count after the knee.
There was no pinfall, dude.
There was no pinfall.
There was.
Tom, were you watching the same thing? There was no pinfall. Kane went to get Daniel to put him to the table. Instead, Daniel pushed him off the apron and Kane went through the table. There was no pinfall.
EMTs use the fire extinguisher on Kane. Kane goes back into the ring. Bryan connects with a knee to the face and a 3 count for the win.
There was no pinfall.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw. Bryan won by pinfall. Because then Bryan backed out of the ring and started to walk backwards up the ramp. Kane sat up in Taker style, got up, stared down Bryan, and as Bryan was backing up and the announcers were beckoning Bryan to get the hell out of there, Kane did the arms and and set the pyros off on the stage.
Hold on.
So the show ended. The show ended with Kane basically saying, I'm not finished with you yet. I'm coming for you again."
Hang on. I'm checking.
That's how the show ended for me.
I'm checking.
You must have seen something that I didn't, because it looked like to me it was a complete DQ. Because I didn't even, the last thing I saw before I saw Daniel get the title belt and walk back up the ramp was I saw Kane go to the table, get the fire extinguishers, start on him, and then...
No, Tom's right.
Okay,
Kane was blinded by the fire extinguisher as he went back in the ring, and Bryan got him with the knee. Bryan got him with the knee. Yeah.
I didn't see it. I just called DQ. I called DQ because I didn't see it.
So it's a Bryan win, which also is points for all of us again.
Okay, what I don't understand is, like, okay, when Taker does the like sit up thing, the commentators just go like, okay, whatever. And then when Kane does it, they always have to point out how evil it is.
But yeah, Kane obviously, it looks to be like Kane is going to be facing Bryan again. Now, I do have information on what WWE would like to do, but I'm not going to discuss it until briefly, because we will talk about it. If you want to leave, you can put your plugs in and then you can go, and we'll continue the show. We'll wrap up without you.
Oh, whatever. I don't care.
What I have heard.
I don't care.
What I have heard is Vince is apparently trying to convince Batista to stay to work against Daniel Bryan for the title at the Payback pay-per-view.
I heard that.
The plan coming out of Extreme Rules is, if WWE can't convince Batista to work with Bryan at Payback, then they will do Kane versus Daniel Bryan again, but this time it will be a buried alive match.
Oh!
That is what is being discussed.
Oh,
no, not that again.
Not a buried alive match. That's
the last one if that happens.
So now the reason I said that this idea potentially makes me sad is because it would be the first. I think it would be the first buried alive match that doesn't feature Taker. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hang on. Was it not one for the
Vince McMahon?
Hold
on, let me think.
He was in all of them.
The last buried alive match we saw was the last buried alive match we saw was 2010 when Glenn used Nexus to help him beat Taker and bury Taker alive.
I'm looking because I honestly don't remember.
How is it that I remember that and you don't?
No, I don't remember if he's been in every single one. I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
That's the way I'm leaning. That I'm leaning towards it being a match that Taker's been in all of them.
Oh, they changed the picture on his Wikipedia. Okay.
I think he's been in all of them. I'm not sure, but
hang on, I'm looking.
The buried alive match was one of Taker's signature matches, other than the casket and the Hell in a Cell
and the last ride.
And that one too. But that's Taker's signature match. Of course he would have been in every Robin.
So on that point,
I'm looking. Hold on.
On that point, just while you look it up, on that point, how do you feel? How do the two of you feel in terms of seeing a Taker signature match without the dead man involved?
That's kind of mean.
It's
you know, how does that make you feel in terms of as much as I like the idea of seeing that match, it still doesn't feel right without Taker being there. And although with Taker not being in it, at least we don't know who's losing.
Okay, this is
Taker hasn't won every single one. He lost the last one.
Yeah, I know he lost the last one. I told you that.
No, I told Tom that he lost the last one.
He lost all of them, hasn't he? He's lost all of the ones he's been in, hasn't he?
No.
No.
He lost to Vince. He lost to Kane.
No, he didn't. He only lost to Glenn in 2010 because of Nexus.
No, he lost to Vince because of Kane.
Yeah.
But I think he won the one against Mankind.
I'm not sure.
Can I
Right?
say what I want to say? I want you to discuss.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did win the one against Mankind. Yeah.
And then he was buried afterwards.
Guys.
But either way.
Can I say something now?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. The thing about it is.
Go.
The thing about it is that if we all know that the only reason Batista came back to WWE was for money. We know that. Exactly. If Batista is not, unless Vince offers him like $500,000 or $500,000 every freaking paycheck you're turning around, Batista's gonna leave because he's not gonna.
Well, as from what I've heard, when it comes to Batista, he is gone. Definitely the Raw after Payback. But he might be gone before then.
Because this is the thing, Batista is like Hunter. He doesn't think that he needs to face somebody like Daniel Bryan to prove that he's worthy of the championship.
Kind of thing.
To be honest, what I think it is, more so, I think it's just Batista doesn't fancy losing on his way out.
Well, and okay, it doesn't matter. 4 years ago, when Bret Hart was running things, he sat in the middle of the ring, face to face with Bret Hart, in a wheelchair, whining because he lost to John Cena and he was already on his way out. And he lost. So what did he do? He whined and he left. If this happens at Payback, if the match between Bryan and Batista happens at Payback, he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna stand in the middle of the ring. He's gonna whine his little baby eyes out, and then he's gonna walk out, slam the door, and never walk back into WWE.
So it certainly makes me think. Please, WWE, stop asking Batista to face Bryan. I want the Buried Alive match.
Okay, guys, he won the first one.
Okay.
Was that the tag team match with Mankind and?
No, that was the versus Mankind in 1996.
Right.
He lost the second one to Stone Cold because of Kane.
Yeah.
There was a tag team one at some point, wasn't there?
I'm getting to that.
Let her tell it, dude. Chill.
Go ahead.
Hold on. Won the tag team one.
That was him and Big Show
Indeed.
against
Rock and
Mankind. Rock and Sock, yeah.
He lost to Vince, which I know that.
And then he lost to Kane.
Yeah.
And then I think he lost to Kane, and I think that was the last one.
He lost to Kane because of Nexus.
That was the one in 2000.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
So we might see.
So, hold on.
Wait, Robert.
Point is, he's been in every single one.
Robert, wait a minute. Wasn't there one? Oh no, never mind. He buried Paul Heyman in concrete that time. Never mind. That was
Paul Bearer.
That was the Paul Bearer concrete.
Paul Bearer, and I wish it was Paul Heyman.
Paul Bearer. That was when he buried him in concrete. Never mind.
That's exhausting.
It makes you wonder. It makes you think. Maybe I don't know. I want to see the Buried Alive match. I'll be honest.
I don't. Not without him in it.
Well, I think it would be interesting because
honestly,
what would they do?
Again.
But this would be Robin. It could go something like this. They could be in the middle of the. Kane can be in the middle of burying Daniel alive, and suddenly a hand pops up.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I see it as what
No,
they.
I mean, just,
I see it as they do the buried alive match to kill off Monster Kane once and for all.
But they're not do the fucking buried alive match. That's Taker's thing. If they do it, I'm gonna be really pissed.
yeah, but what if it's Robert, what was that you always told me about Kane? Whenever Big Brother was coming back, what was that you always told me?
You told
What
me.
was that you told me that time
You
about
told
Kane?
me that you thought he went more crazy. I didn't tell you that. You told me that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. I thought you told me. I told you it always seemed like whenever Taker was coming back, he got lucky.
Yeah, but he's not gonna come back now. He's
So,
gonna come back
for all
and
we
he's-
know, Taker could be coming back.
I don't
Well,
think so.
But think about it. If Kane keeps going like this, it could eventually lead to him coming back at some point this year.
I'm not gonna get my hopes.
I mean,
It makes you wonder. What about if?
Kane keeps
I don't want them to do the buried alive match without him in it. Okay, done.
Okay, well that's what I've seen as potential for.
that's only fair because that is a signature match, and to have Kane do it would be kind of messed up.
At least it's been kept in the family.
Okay.
That's like
I don't
having.
want them to do the buried alive match without him in it. Done. God.
Well, that would be like them doing the last match without him in it.
Exactly.
Well, there we go.
You know,
Let's segue back onto the pay-per-view that we watched this recently. So overall, would you say good pay-per-view, bad pay-per-view, somewhere in the middle? What would you go with? I'm saying good.
I'd say good.
It was alright.
It definitely makes up for the lousiness of WrestleMania 30.
Yeah. And by all accounts, we're going to be getting some new stars on Raw. If the information you have is correct.
Well, they said Adam Rose is supposed to be on Raw tonight, and I'm guessing Bo will come tonight. But they might wait another week for Bo's big debut. But I think Adam Rose is supposed to be debuting tonight, from what they said.
Yeah, it is.
So.
So it will be.
I'm hoping that it'll be interesting to see the new blood come in and see what they've got to offer.
There is actually one more thing that I've seen that is being discussed as something that they're thinking of doing at some point down the line. They're thinking of pairing up Evan Bourne and Tyson Kidd as a tag team. Are you in favor? Are you in favor? Are you in favor of that?
Definitely. Yeah. That would be good because that would be a really good combination because Evan is an amazing high flyer and Tyson's heart dungeon training. It would be they'd make an awesome tag team match. They'd make an awesome tag team.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would just be an awesome tag team.
That'd be cool.
And it's been about 3 years since it's been close to about 3 or 4 years since we've actually seen Evan, so it will be amazing to see Evan Bourne again.
Yeah.
I think there is one other thing that we can potentially talk about. I don't think we're going to have much to say about it, but with all the stuff that's been published about online and stuff, do you like the idea? Do you ever think we'll see David Benoit in WWE?
If he's lucky.
I don't think so.
Chance of that.
I read something where he said that he spoke to a writer and he said that the Benoit name would be used again. So I guess there is a potential that he could be.
The problem you've got is David looks a lot like Daddy.
So?
It makes you think.
So,
So, Charles is a lot like Daddy too.
Yeah, but
Harry Smith.
So does David. And so does Harry Smith. What's the point?
Yeah, he looks a lot like Daddy.
Bulldog isn't a double murderer.
Okay, the thing about it is that yes, David has his father's last name, but
And he
could
looks
come
like
into
him.
and he looks like him, but he could easily come into the company under a different name. He doesn't have to come into the company as David Benoit. He could come into the company as David Hart, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Something else.
No,
The thing is,
interesting.
they have to learn to look past that.
Yeah.
They have to look.
They have to learn to look past that someday.
It's been a long time. People have had time to come to terms with it. They know they kind of have an idea what was wrong with Chris. And it's time to just let what Chris did go, because honestly, you cannot change what happened. You can't change what Chris did. You can't change what happened with Chris. You can't change the fact that, Chris just wasn't in his right mind because of so many chair shots and so many concussions and things like that. You can't change what happened. You cannot hold the sin of the father against the sin of the son.
Against the
You can't
sun.
hold that. Thank you. Against the son. So, honestly, I would love to see David Benoit come in and bring back the prestige and the name with Chris. I would love to see him
Make everybody
rebuild
remember what Chris did before he did that.
Yeah, if he's even a tenth of the wrestler his dad was, I would love to see him in the company. But I just,
the thing is, they need to
I don't know
that what Chris Benoit did is what Chris Benoit did.
Right. What Chris did is what Chris did. That's like with DH. Somebody twisted his words around because he said he wished he was as big as Davey Boy was. He didn't mean it in the terms of that. What he meant was he wanted to be big and strong like his dad. He didn't mean it in the terms of, I want to be, I want to be, I want to be like my dad. I want to be as big as my dad. He meant he wanted to be as strong as his dad. Because Davey Boy was pretty strong.
Davey Boy also did a lot of steroids, but
that too. But David's never done that, and that's what made people twist his words around and say, "Oh, well, are you saying you would do steroids like your father?" And he's like, "No, I would never do steroids like my dad." You can't hold the sin of the father against the sin of the son, like I said, because if you did that,
the sin of the father against the son.
Exactly. If you did that,
You can't hold the sin of the father against the sin of the son, and that's not right.
It's not. Because if it was, Shane would have a lot to answer for what Vince has done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've given the audience quite a bit to think about. This has been the review show for the WWE Extreme Rules 2014 pay-per-view. I enjoyed it. It was a good show.
It was kind of boring at first, but it got better.
And it's good to be back in the winning seat again.
Shut up.
You got lucky.
You gotta take what you gotta get when you lose as much as I do. But yeah, hopefully I've brought an end. My little losing streak has come to an end. But yeah, this has been the pay-per-view review show. You can follow me at Twitter at Woof, at Tom Williams 1990.
Sorry about that. My dog just had to get his little
yeah
voice in there.
Yeah, you can follow Robin's dog at woofwoof.com. But I'm on Twitter.
Aussie.com.
I'm on Twitter at Tom Williams 1990. Same for Facebook. I'm also listed as Tom Williams 1990 on fanfiction. Where can everybody find the two of you?
Okay, you can find me on Twitter at TakerSoGirl, on fanfiction at TakerStillGirl, and here and on YouTube at TakerStillGirl22, and I'm on Facebook under Robin Wired. Yes, I'm actually using my real name. What a...
You can find me on Twitter at East Texas Country. You can find me on fanfiction as Cena's Country Girl. You can find me here on YouTube at Christy Cena, and you can find me on Facebook at Dinah Davidson 1989.
Yeah, so this has been a live Google Hangout version of the Extreme Rules post show. Hope the audio's in good nick and you guys have enjoyed the programming. The next time you'll hear us doing one of these will be over on Cena's Country Girls channel. Over on the Christy Cena channel?
Yeah, Christy Cena.
We will be doing the predictions vlog for the 2014 WWE pay-per-view Payback, which is happening on June. Let me make sure I've got the date right here. June 9th, I do believe.
What LPs have you got coming up on the channel TSG? What have you got coming up?
I still have my Pokemon Fire Red Random, thank you. For that. And my Earthbound LPs. I'm still working on them. It's kind of slow.
Over on my channel, which is where you are anyway, I've got Skyrim coming out all during the weekdays. I think there's one more episode of The Wolf Among Us, episode 3, A Crooked Mile, and things are hotting up in Fabletown. And of course, after that, there's also the once a week Saturday night main event I'm doing on WWE 2K14, along with the new weekend series starting up I think next weekend, which is going to be WWE All Stars, and we're going straight into one of the storyline modes, which involves some Undertaker scripting, which I really enjoyed.
Me, don't you? You have to do this to me, don't you?
I actually recorded it in February. What can I do?
Okay.
I recorded it ages ago and put it out well in the future. But yeah, that WWE All Stars is going to be starting up on the channel.
I'll be probably watching it because you won't be saying anything about that.
It hadn't happened when I recorded it.
I know.
In fact, I think a couple of the times during the thing, I talk about how, well, obviously Taker's going to win, and yeah, so there's some of the content coming out on the channels coming up soon. Obviously, we can't really talk about our schedules when it comes to writing because we don't have them. We just put things up when we get things done.
I can. I'm working on it right now.
You have any idea when they're going to see that?
Probably in the next 2-3 days, maybe.
Yeah, well,
I've got something right now, so let's hopefully we will see something in the next couple of days.
There's something to get excited about. Then we get
the alternate version of DOD should be up soon too.
Oh, the alternate version. I was going to say because there's something you guys can get excited about coming up on TSG's fanfiction. We're going to continue the adventures of Blind Angel, which I'm still amazed that you actually did, because I never even thought you'd go that way, but brilliant stuff. So make sure you check all that out, and hopefully we'll have some.
Not that brilliant, dude.
And hopefully there'll be some more bar fights over on Cena's Country Girls fanfic.
We are the next speaking of the sample, the next chapter coming out will be SummerSlam, and so if Tom is willing to let me use his genius brain, I might can pop up some ideas with him. So we'll see. We'll just have to see what happens.
And I've actually got a chapter ready to go out, and we're going to find out we're going to find out what happened to our kidnapped Silver Ranger. So that'll be going up soon.
That brilliant. Tom's exaggerating.
I'm not exaggerating much. Yeah. So this has been the post show and a bit of a push for all of the channels. Make sure you go to them, because if you don't, I'll find you with my sheep mask and my buzzards. So
I'll find you with my druids.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. There's Yeah,
Family members.
there is a wonderful image for you. You wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat. The three of us are standing over you at the foot of your bed. Me surrounded by blackbirds and dudes in sheep masks. TSG standing at the foot of your bed, surrounded by blokes in hooded robes, and seeing this country girl surrounded by children. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, quite scary. Yeah.
Guys, which
Surrounded by children wearing John Cena merchandise. There we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That'll really hurt your eyes, all the bright colours. So yeah, this has been the post show. We really should end now. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.